My name is Alex, and I never believed in the undead. That was until the night of October 31st, the night everything changed. The sun had set, leaving an eerie glow on the horizon as I finished locking up the convenience store. It was Halloween, and the streets were eerily quiet. The usual trick-or-treaters were nowhere to be seen, and an unsettling feeling settled in my gut. I brushed it off, chalking it up to the deserted atmosphere. After all, who would want to wander around our rundown town anyway? As I walked home, the wind picked up, howling through the empty streets. The sound made my skin crawl, but I quickened my pace, eager to get home and shut out the night. The old street lamps flickered, casting long, distorted shadows that danced mockingly on the pavement. My house was a few blocks away from the store, nestled at the end of a cul-de-sac. As I turned the corner, I saw my neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, standing in her front yard. She was motionless, staring blankly at her rose bushes. I waved, but she didn't respond. I shrugged and continued on, telling myself she was just tired. Unlocking my front door, I stepped inside and locked it behind me. I exhaled, relieved to be home. My black cat, Shadow, rubbed against my legs, purring softly. I bent down to scratch behind his ears, trying to shake off the lingering unease. I decided to make some tea, hoping it would calm my nerves. The kettle whistled, and as I poured the hot water, I heard a strange noise outside. It was a low, guttural moan, faint but unmistakable. I froze, listening intently. There it was again, closer this time. Shadow hissed and darted under the couch. Heart pounding, I crept to the window and peeked through the curtains. My blood ran cold. A group of figures shambled down the street, their movements unnatural and jerky. They were pale, their clothes tattered and stained with dark patches, and their eyes were vacant, lifeless. Zombies, I whispered, disbelief warring with the terror rising within me. This couldn't be real. Zombies were the stuff of horror movies and nightmares, not reality. I backed away from the window, my mind racing. What was I supposed to do? I needed to call someone, get help. My phone was on the kitchen counter. I grabbed it with shaking hands and dialed 911. The line rang and rang and rang. No answer. Desperation clawed at me. I tried my friends, my family, but there was no response, just endless ringing. The moaning grew louder, and I realized with horror that the zombies were coming closer. I ran to the back door, intending to bolt it, but before I could reach it, the glass shattered. A decayed hand reached through, grasping wildly. I screamed, grabbing the nearest object, a heavy vase, and smashed it down on the hand. It recoiled, but more hands followed, pushing through the broken window. I needed to get out. I sprinted upstairs, slamming the door to my bedroom behind me. I barricaded it with my dresser, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might burst. The moaning was right outside, accompanied by the sound of splintering wood as the front door gave way. I looked around desperately for a weapon, anything to defend myself. My eyes fell on an old baseball bat in the corner. I grabbed it, my knuckles white as I gripped it tightly. The door to my room shook, the dresser scraping against the floor as the zombies pushed harder. Tears streamed down my face. This was it. I was going to die, alone in my room, surrounded by monsters. The door finally gave in, and the zombies poured in, their eyes fixed on me, hungry and unrelenting. With a primal scream, I swung the bat, connecting with the first zombie's head. It crumpled, but more took its place. I fought with everything I had, but it was hopeless. They were too many, and I was only one. As the cold, rotting hands grabbed me, pulling me into their midst, the last thing I saw was Shadow, watching from the top of the bookshelf, his green eyes wide with terror.